What's going on? What's going on, lineage? This is your brother Chief Kalanago Flying Eagle with another video. Hope everybody's doing good. Let me get on Facebook, make sure I got audio on this thing here while you guys are tuning in. All right, give me 1 second. Boom, hold on for 1 second. Okay, where's that at? Where's that at? All right, cool. I'm not seeing it on here. That's weird. Hey, how is everybody doing, huh? Give me 1 second, all right? I'm just making sure I have audio on Facebook. For some reason, this video is not coming up. Hold on for 1 second. All righty, here we go. Here we go. All right, what's going on, lineage? What's going on? Hope everybody's having an amazing day so far. I just came from the park doing a little workout, but I'm about to drop some information. I'm certainly show you guys, you see the information all over the internet, but this is something I told y'all literally over 11 years ago, and I told you it was coming, right? So now you know, whenever I come on here and I share things with you guys, I'm not just making these things up, I mean, these things are real. All right, so here we go. Make sure we have audio. All right, we got audio. All right, cool. All right, so, all right, cool. If you're live with me right now, go ahead and, just drop some 8s in the chat right now. All right, we're about to dive into a little bit of information. And once again, like I said, that information is all over the internet now. But 11 years ago, I told y'all about this. All right, and people thought it was just, oh, well, it's just a movie. And, no, what people don't realize, certain things they put in movies is a public notice. Okay. And people, you have a right as the people to know the difference between entertainment, all right, between entertainment and what they call, public notices. All right. A public notice, if there's a public notice and the public, they themselves do not oppose to it, then it becomes law. You see, people don't realize that. And I've been teaching you guys for so many years. You should know certain things when you see it, what it means. You know what I mean? But again, you have to have the insight and be able to do your due diligence when you see certain things and hear certain things. Do your own research, right? Just like how if you give somebody an affidavit, or you send an affidavit to the government, a corporation, whatever the case may be, right? If they don't rebuttal the affidavit within 30 days, naturally 30 days, you could give them less if you want to on the common law, but normally it would be about 30 days, right? Within, statutory, law, right? On the contracts, 30 days. So if it's not rebuttal within the 30 days, then it becomes your law. So once again, a public notice, like take for instance, another example. If you're opening up a business, right, you have to do a public notice just in case somebody else is using that name. You have proof that you made a public notice in a newspaper of the likes, right? And after 30 days, nobody rebutted the name of your business, then that becomes law. Now, whether that individual did the research or their due diligence, that's on them. You are not responsible. You did what you were supposed to. So the same thing with entertainment. Yes, it's entertainment. However, within entertainment, they are able to give a public notice. It doesn't necessarily have to be on CNN. You see, these people are they're very trickery, all right? And we're living in a world filled with illusions and full of tricks, all right? That's why it's called the world was given to Satan. All Satan means is adversary. People are looking for Satan, or religion is teaching people that Satan is, is a man with a red pitchfork, with a red outfit with horns. No, Satan could be right next to you. All Satan means is adversary. You see what I'm saying? Adversary, period. Okay? So the people of the United States are the enemies of the United States. You don't realize that. Why? Because the United States is a corporation. Okay? And anytime you feel like you are a natural person, then you become an enemy of the corporation. All right, that's facts over feelings. So I'm breaking this down, within its legal, lawful, and terms and basic common sense. Okay. So going back to the public notice, once again, movies, TV, media, that is a form of public notice. Yes, it's under the guise of entertainment. However, they are telling you certain things that they are going to implement. All right. And if you are not in tune, then it becomes law. So, with that being said, you will see a lot of posts, a lot of people doing videos about the purge laws, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like I said, those are the latecomers. And I'm not saying that, hey, well, you know what? I did it over 11 years ago. I'm the first. It's not about being the first. I'm just saying that I've been teaching that stuff for a while. Okay. And I taught y'all that. I broke it down over 11 years ago, talking about the purge. All right. When the movie first came out, I broke it down. And exactly what I broke down is exactly what's happening today. So we're going to get into this. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show again and reiterate, because that's how you teach. You have to teach with repetition. All right. So that people are able to deprogram themselves with the constant propaganda of what's being taught. So I'm going to show you two codes, which I've shown you before, but I'm going to show it again. All right. I'm going to show it again for the purpose of this lesson. Now, this is only for educational purposes. I'm not an attorney. I'm not here to give legal advice. I'm just here to teach and share information that's already public information. However, you just have to do a little bit of searching, or in other words, do your own due diligence to get the information. All right. So much respect to each and every one of you that's logged in right now. Okay. Let me go ahead and share this. Boom. And we are going to look at, here we go. The first one. Most of you probably know this already because I've already shown this. Okay. So I'm going to show it again. Give it some time to populate. Okay. Okay, here we go. It just populated. All right. The first title is Title 28, Section 3. Title 28, Code 3. Section 3002. And we're going to go to subsection 15A. All right, let's go to that right now. And even if you know this, but I have to keep reiterating that information so you actually know what you're dealing with. So when the United States makes certain moves, never take it personal. You have to realize it's coming from a commercial perspective. All right. The United States is not being governed on the natural law, which is an extension of common law. Okay. It is not being governed by that. The United States is being governed by maritime laws. Okay. Admiralty law, laws of the sea. Okay. Attached to what's called ecclesiastic laws. All right. I'm going to repeat that. All right. That's why I have to go back to the Bible, because all this is in the Bible. But once again, your pastors and your ministers will not teach you what the Bible is actually about. That's why Jesus, the allegorical Jesus, his sign was the sign. He dealt with the fish. He dealt with the water. Okay. He dealt with the water, and he had to pass it on to the Aquarius, which was the pitcher of water, passing that on. Okay. So I'm saying all that to say again, to show you the correlation between the Bible and the ecclesiastical laws that's governed, okay, or being used to govern the United States, which is again operating on the admiralty law. Okay. Keep that in mind. So once again, Title 28, Section 3002, subsection 15A. United States means what? Federal corporation. Right there. We could stop right here. All right. Once you get that and you sink that into your head, you have already won more than half the battle. As long as you know this, and you know that every individual state, okay, is also party to the United States. In other words, they are also sub-corporations. Then you know that these corporations have no power over a natural man or a natural woman. So that's the first thing that you have to have in the back of your mind before you deal with this corporation, period. Before you contract with this corporation, you have to know that you, as a natural man or business, you have no rights within that fictitious world. Once again, let's go back to the Matrix, okay? When Neo and his friends or partners or associates, whatever the case may be, Whenever they went into the matrix, all right, they had to deal with agents. Okay, they had to deal with agents. Okay, and he was Neo, okay, in the natural world, but in the matrix, you had to be a Smith. In this matrix, you are a John Doe. Okay. I'm saying all that to say is you have to know the difference. You have to know the difference. And everything within the corporation, within the matrix, it is all an illusion. Just like the lady in the red dress in the matrix. All right. When Morpheus said, listen, man, stay focused, man. She's not real. She is not real. But the problem is, too many of you don't know what's real. And too many of you don't know what's fake. You think that the illusion is your real life. Okay, that's why you have all these mass shootings going around. Why? Because rappers are promoting shooting like it's a part of a videos game, and they're not teaching the people like, hey, listen, man, this is just entertainment. This is not real life. I got a family, I got a daughter, I got a son, I got a mom. I ain't trying to die. But they're not teaching you that, right? But they are pushing the illusion of the corporations, of the matrix, making you think that's your real life. All right. That's just like how the United States is making you think that the United States is a nation or a country. It is not. The United States is a federal corporation. Point blank. I don't care what you say. That's what it is. If they're telling you that's what it is, who are you to tell me I'm lying? When the people who created it telling you, hey, listen, man, on paper, we are not a nation. We are just telling you what it is on paper, but if you want to think it's a nation because we call it a nation, that's on you. But what's written within the codes, it's a corporation. You see what I'm saying? So they are misleading the people. But again, people got to do their own due diligence. All right. So that's Title 28, Section 3002, subsection 15, capital A. That's one. We are going to go to the next. All right. Because you have to keep that in mind and never forget that. No matter what you do, always have that in the back of your mind. Whenever the corporation challenge the natural man or the natural woman, always have that on your mind. No matter what they do, whether they come with threat, duress, it doesn't matter. Coercion, it doesn't matter. As long as you keep in mind that I am a man, a living man, a living woman, a corporation has no jurisdiction and authority over me. Period. They catch you when you say that you are the corporation, which is the fictitious name that they gave you. Okay? You don't have a name. We don't have names. We don't have first names or last names. Well, Chief, what does that have to do with what you taught 11 years ago? I'm going to get into all that, but I have to go back to the foundation. Everything is foundational. So I'm going back to the foundation, to the basics, so that you're able to comprehend everything that I'm saying. Okay, so we don't have names. All right? You are called a certain thing. Well, what's your name? I don't have a name. What you mean? So what's on this ID? That's not my name. That's what I'm called. Okay? You are, I am that I am. Again, that's in the Bible. You see, if your pastors really taught you what this Bible was really about, then people wouldn't be out here living in slavery. You feel me? Because all religions is an extension of slavery. Facts over feelings. Okay? The church used to be the trap house for the colonizers. That's what it was, and it still is today. Just under the guise of you're looking for a savior to come save you, when the truth is you are your own savior. Okay? But Jesus did come and give you the truth. Jesus is the truth and the light, but not in the way that you think it is. The man never existed in real life. Okay? But if you adhere to the teachings and know exactly what it means, then you could free yourself. You dig? Now, whether you want to say Jesus, it doesn't matter, man. You could call it, pancakes. It don't matter. The key of the teaching is what you have to focus on. People are focusing on the messenger and not the message, and that's what Jesus was teaching. Man, listen, forget me. As a matter of fact, if you believe, you could go ahead and do greater things than I did. So once again, let me ask you a question. How can your Savior tell you that you could go ahead and do greater things than him? How is that? Because you don't get it. People don't get it. And they're not being taught exactly what it means. So that's the first code. Let us go to the next one. Next one. Let's wait for this to populate. And then I'll get into the meat and bones of, what I'm going to talk about today. All right. Just going back to some foundational stuff. Okay. The next one is Title 15, Code Section 4724. Okay. That deals, of course, everything deals with commerce. That's what the UCC stands for, Uniform Commercial Code. Okay. So let us go under that. And we're going to look at United States business. What is a United States business? So we're going to click on that. United States business, number one, right there in bold. Okay. Number 1A. Let it populate here for a second so you're able to see what it says with your own two eyes. Okay. Because a lot of people will hear, but they will not listen. Okay. United States business. Number one, the term United States business means what? A United States citizen. So I just solidified the first code that I showed you and broke it down even more for you to show you that, yes, Title 28, Title 28, Section 3002, subsection 15A states that the United States is a corporation. So therefore, if the corporation create people, what do you think the people are going to be? Okay. And you were an entity that was created via your birth certificate. So if the United States created you, your mother didn't create you. Your mother gave birth to you. But what the United States did was they took your arrival date and they created a new entity. Because remember, once again, let's go back to the foundation of what I taught you. Okay. Your arrival date is not your birth date. What's on your ID that says your birthday, that's not your birthday. Your birthday is actually during the conception. When the sperm meet the egg, that's when you were birthed. Okay, so your birth is spiritual. That's your birth. However, your arrival, which is a physical thing, the government took that arrival and it's literally, what would I call it? An event. The event of your arrival, they gave it a name. So if your mother named you John Doe when they gave birth to you, of course they're going to give you a name. They gave you a name John Doe on your arrival. Your mother and dad said, you know what, man, I love my son. That's a beautiful name, John Doe. The government came in and said, hey, you know what? Listen, man, I like the fact that you have your little family. You gave birth to a natural child, okay? And his name is John Doe, or in the case of a girl, Jane Doe. What we are going to do is this. We are going to take that name, okay? We are going to take the name that you gave your child on arrival, and we are going to create a new event. And we are going to call that event John Doe in all capital letters or Jane Doe in all capital letters. So basically, the United States is taking the place of a creator. All right. It is all about the same Trinity. All right. But the United States became the head of that Trinity. All right. Just like how you have mother, father, and child. Okay. Or in some cases, father, mother, and child, because in cultures, it alternates, right, in terms of the hierarchy, right? So you're dealing with mother, father, and child, or father, mother, and child. When they have a child, that's the Trinity. Now, the United States, once again, came to the Trinity and said, hey, listen, I want to be the God in this Trinity. So I want to create a new family, all right, because I want to be a part of that. So I'm going to play God, okay? The mother and the father already have the child, and we're going to give the child a new name. So that's a whole new creation, which is what we're looking at right here, okay? Which is what we're looking at right here. You feel me? On the Title 15. That's a whole new creation. So that is what the United States created. That's why they have authority and jurisdiction over their creation. But once you know that's not you, it is only a representation of you. It is only a semblance of you, but it's not you. You feel me? Then you have already won more than 80% of the battle just by knowing this much. Okay? So, a United States business means a United States citizen. Okay? No difference from going to McDonald's and saying, hey, McDonald's, you know what? I would like to be one of your citizens. No difference whatsoever. I hope that makes sense. Now, if that makes sense, once again, I don't want you to type 7 just to type 7. If it makes sense to you, go ahead and type some 7s so I could proceed. Please do your own due diligence and research the information. It's public information. It's there for you to learn. but you have to get away from the distractions. I keep, how many years I've been telling y'all now this, okay? Y'all gonna see some things you only see in the movies, and those things are manifesting right now. You feel me? Okay. Now let us get into the meat and the bones of this lecture right here. Okay. Let's get into the meat and the bones about what this lecture is really about. Again, I just went back to a little bit of the foundational information that I always teach, because I like to go back to the basics. You see, once you know the basics is the foundation, or the foundation is the basic principle in any type of situation. Go back to the fundamentals, even in martial arts. Okay, it doesn't matter how technical you get, it doesn't matter how good you get, but guess what? Your sensei will always tell you, go back to the basics. In boxing, go back to the basics. In track and field, go back to the basics. When you're working out, go back to the basics. Everything is about the basics. So the basic is to know and always have in the back of your mind, anytime you're dealing with the agents from the agencies, which is a corporation, always know that when they are dealing with you, they are coming at you. They're not coming at the natural man or woman. They are coming at the United States citizen, which is a corporation. They are coming and dealing with another corporation. Now, once you know how to separate yourself from that, in other words, once you know how to get back to Zion, let's go back to the matrix again. Once you know how to get back to Zion, okay, and separate yourself from the matrix, and know when you're in the matrix, you're supposed to deal a certain way, then you're good to go. You're good to go, man. You are good to go. All right. And you see how Neo destroy the agents? Guess what? You could destroy them on paper. You feel me? That's what it's about. The knowledge. You dig. Now let us go here. Let me go ahead and share this. Okay. And now everybody's talking about this, but like I said, I spoke about this 11 years ago. So this is nothing new to me. It didn't surprise me. And people are sending it to my inboxes. And you know what? I'm like, listen, not to be cocky, but I did this about 11 years ago. You know what I mean? So, and anybody who's been following my videos for a long time, this will bring back some memories. And they'll be like, yeah, Chief, you know what? You told us that over 11 years ago. All right. And they could validate that information because I've already spoken about it. But so they have to have a starting point. Like I said, they gave you the movie. All right. And the movie was a public notice, but the people always think that it's just entertainment, not realizing that that was a public notice. All right. It was a public notice letting you that this is coming. Okay. It was a public notice. So let us read. Illinois becomes the first state to pass a purge law that allows criminals to be released without bail. I'm going to repeat that again. Illinois becomes the first state to pass a purge law that allows criminals to be released without bail. Let us read a little more into this and see if we could, kind of dissect what all this means for you and I or for the people. Okay. Now, Illinois is making history by being the first state to test out the purge in real life. Okay. So here we go. All right. Even before I read this, I told you about the entertainment aspect of it. So therefore, they have to give it to you in an artistical form, okay, in an act. Once again, let's go back to the basics, which I've taught y'all many years ago, okay? These people are all actors. In Hollywood, they have actors. So what do actors do? Actors act. When Congress is passing a bill, it's called a what? It's called an act. You see what I'm saying? So they are all actors, letting you know that this is not real life. It's an illusion. What we are giving you an illusion. It's all entertainment. But if you want to go ahead and think it's real, then that's on you, right? But we are letting you know those things are acts. That's why they say, well, Congress passed an act, or, Congress did that. It's an act. It is always an act because they are actors. They're just actors in a political realm, while the movie entertainers are actors in the movies, TV, etc., what's considered to be entertainment. However, politics is also entertainment. It's a game. All right. So let's read again. Illinois is making history by being the first state to test out the purge in real life. So therefore, it existed in non-real life, if that makes sense. And I'm just talking about based on what we are reading. In real life, the opposite of real life is the fictitious life, which is what they gave you, the Purge, the movie. Again, that was a public notice. Okay. On January 1st, 2023, Safety, okay, Safety Act. Remember, I told you it's an act because they are actors. Okay. They gave you the Hollywood version. Now they have to give it to you in real life. The Hollywood version was just a test. And they took polls to see how the people reacted. Oh man, that movie was great. It was great. Oh man, ooh, boo, boo. You see what I'm saying? They programmed the people. They programmed the people. A test was done publicly. You paid for the test. Okay. They made billions of dollars on the test. And now they're giving it to you in real life. Okay. The Safety Act stands for safety, accountability, fairness, and equity today, and will allow its residents to commit crimes freely. Now, think about what I'm saying here, which I've said this 11 years ago. You see what I'm saying? All right? That is some scary stuff. But there is an underlying reason for all this. When I'm done reading, and of course, I may not read the entire article, but it's also in the link below. You go ahead and read it in its entirety, and you come up with your own analysis on that. All right. But I'm just giving you an introductory to the article. Let's read this again. The Safety Act stands for safety, accountability, fairness, equity today, and will allow its residents to commit crimes freely. Now, why can't the Safety Act just be safety, accountability, fairness, equity today? Why is there and? Why is and is an addition? Why the addendum? When you see and, it means that it's an addendum, something is being added. Why do you have to allow residents to commit crimes freely? Once again, there is a reason for that, and we're going to deal with that on the conclusion or in the summary of this lesson. Government Pritzker says the law makes a substantial step towards dismantling the systematic racism. All right. Now you have to know exactly what racism is. You see what I'm saying? People think racism is just about the color of skin. No, it is not. Racism is a system, just like how you have communism, okay, capitalism. All you have to focus on now, not the prefix of the word, but okay, so you have the beginning is the prefix, and the end of the word is the I forgot the term, but it's prefix. And if somebody could help me out here real quick. Help me out here real quick. I know we have prefix in the beginning, and on the back of the word, what do we have? Come on, I know you guys are sharp, man. I mean, I know it is just slipping my mind right now. Okay? It's just slipping my mind right now. I mean, I know you guys are sharp, man. Y'all been watching me for a minute. Prefix and anyway, yeah, suffix. Thank you, Mo. Thank you. I appreciate that. There we go, suffix. So the suffix of the word, all right? Let us get back to that. Suffix, I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay? Let us get back to that. All righty, here we go. Commit crimes, safety, fairness, All right. So we're looking at the suffix of the word, the ism. So once again, racism, they want you to think it's about skin complexion. All right. No, it is. This is just an illusion of separation of the people. All right. That's all it is. You have to look at the suffix in the sense of racism. Okay. And once again, you have communism. Okay. A system being run by communists. You have capitalism, a system being run by capitalists. You have socialism, a system being run by socialists. And you have racism, a system being ran by people to separate the masses, making them think it's about the color of their skin, but it's all about the isms. You see what I'm saying? So in layman's terms, racism here has nothing to do with the color of skin, but however, how would I put it? The people who don't have the knowledge, Okay, the ignorant people will think it's about the color of skin. That's what they're going to think. And that's where the chaos is going to come in because people, they are not taught what these things mean. You feel me? So literally, they're setting up a premise for World War III. That's what they're doing within the corporation. Okay? But I'll dive a little more into that. So let's continue. All right? Now we know what systematic racism is. It has nothing to do with the color of your skin. All right? Let us proceed. That plagues our communities, our state, our nation, and brings us closer to true safety, true fairness, true justice. Now, how is allowing people to commit more crimes going to allow us to come closer, to feel more safe, all right, and create fairness and true justice? That in itself alone is contradictory. That in itself alone seems to be an oxymoron, right? Let us read a little more. The counter signal reported that the law would end cash bail for 12 non-detainable offenses. It would end cash bail for 12 non-detainable offenses. This includes second-degree murder, aggravated battery, arson, drug-induced homicide, kidnapping, burglary, robbery, intimidation, aggravated DUI, aggravated fleeing and eluding, drug offenses, and threatening public officials. So, with that being said, you are able to do all these things. Now they're giving you a license to commit crimes. You could even threaten a public official. Now, you tell me, how is that going to create fairness? You explain that to me. How is that going to create fairness and true justice? What it's going to create is true chaos. And there's a reason for that, which I will talk about in the conclusion, because like I said, I've already spoken about that 11 years ago. So here we go. Illinois non-detainable offenses beginning January 1st, 2023. Aggravated battery, aggravated DUI, aggravated fleeing, arson, burglary, drug-induced homicide, intimidation, kidnapping, robbery, second-degree murder, threatening a public official. All right? The Safety Act, again, Safety Act, it's an act, right, states that the defendants of these crimes are presumed eligible for pretrial release. This is only possible if prosecutors don't present clear and convincing evidence showing the suspect possess a threat to a specific person. The law will require prosecutors to request detention for the defendant. This also means the state of Illinois will hold a trial within 48 hours to determine if the suspect should be released or not. Now, that already exists because within the Constitution, everybody have a right, or everybody has a right to a fair and speedy trial. So this is nothing new that they are adding. All right? That already exists. Let us read some more. Investigators believe that not enough time to compile evidence from a surveillance and body cameras, crime labs, and forensic analysis. The new law also gives criminals free phone calls within 3 hours of arriving at any detention center. Now, why would you have to give people, that type of law or that type of privilege when you could just give them their free phone call? I mean, no, they barely even want to give you one, but now they want to give you 3, right? Oh, well, wow, thank you. I could go out there and kill people, rob, do what I want, but now I have 3 phone calls, right? Come on, man. Says there will not be any restrictions on phone calls, so criminals will be able to intimidate or tamper with witnesses. So in other words, if you do something to me, okay, and I'm a witness, okay, then you could literally threaten me. In essence, that's what they're saying, right? Now, let us get back to the live feed, all right? You have that information. Okay, now, let me see. Yep, you have tribalism as well. Okay, dealing with tribes, right? Okay. Okay, so why is all this happening? We have to go back to the foundation of it all. This is not the first time there have been a purge. There have been many forms of purges on the American continent because of colonization. What you have to, again, you have to bear in mind and you have to know as truth is that we, the indigenous people, they realize that when I say they, I'm talking about the system, the corporation. The corporations know exactly what's happening. Well, Chief, what do you mean by that? They know that the original indigenous people of this land, we are actually coming into the knowledge of self. So therefore, there have to be a purge. Let me give you an example of another purge, but it wasn't in the form of, well, you have the free will to commit crimes. The Indian Removal Act was a purge. Okay? Taking original American, again, even if American Indian is also a misnomer, American Indian people and putting them into herds, the projects, all these so-called black people that's living in projects, those projects are actually reservations, but people just don't know. They call them urban areas, they call them the hood, they call them the ghetto, they call them the projects. All they did is they took away your identity and put you in a hood, put you in a project. And all those things were things that were already done, that was already practiced. All right, now, before I move forward, let me see if I could pull this up for you and give it to you real quick. Okay? Because I like to show and prove the things that I talk about. I just don't like to talk. I like to give you researchable, information so you're able to research that thing yourself. All right? Okay. All right, meaning the group of government subsidized lower rent department recorded in American English, plain scheme, all those things that we're dealing with in terms of putting projects and the ghetto and all those things were things, where that was practiced in Europe. Okay. Those were actually experiments that were practiced in Europe and on the people, and it was brought here into the Americas. Okay. I'm going to give you an example here. Let me show you a ghetto. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to apologize for diverting here. Okay. But I'll come back to what I was talking about. Let me show you the etymology of the word ghetto. Okay. The word ghetto. And then you'll realize when you see, again, whenever I teach, I like to teach, so that a baby could comprehend what I talk about. And I like to show, again, enough information that people could research and show you how things were flipped around. Okay. Literally, we're just living a reverse life of what we used to live. Okay. We were the landlords. We became tenants. You see what I'm saying? So let us read the etymology of ghetto. 1610s, part of a city in which Jews are compelled to live. Let's read that again. 1610s, part of a city in which Jews are compelled to live, especially in Italy, from what? Italian ghetto. Part of a city to which Jews are restricted of unknown origin. The various theories trace it to Yiddish, get deed of separation, a special use of Venetian ghetto. A foundry, there was one near the site of that city ghetto in 1516, a clipped form of ghetto, Egypt from blah, 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 blah. We ain't got to get into all that. But who are the ones creating the ghettos today? The so-called Jews. But the Jews they are talking about in the 1610s, they're not the same Jews that you see here today. These people that you see here today are Jewish. Okay? They are Jewish-ish. Anything with ish in it is to be like something else. Ish. Black-ish. Jewish. You feel me? It is not the real thing. So, as you could see, they call themselves Jews today, but they are the ones creating the ghetto. You see what I'm saying? Because once again, these people, they are only masters of what they went through, their experiences. You feel me? Once again, this is all about commerce. That's why the Jews and the Moors, they were literally, banned from coming into the Americas. Okay? And again, it goes back to the history of Europe because they were the ones controlling, different parts of Europe. Okay? Literally causing a lot of chaos in Europe, enslaving their own people in Africa. You know what I'm saying? And when I speak about the Jews, I'm talking about, when we come into Judaism, we're talking about those Jews. I'm talking about the original Jews, talking about the Israelites. The Israelites are not original people of the Americas. Okay, they are not. They came in and mixed in with the American original people. Okay, but these people are actually from Scotland, Ireland, those places. Okay. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The point I'm making is I'm showing you that where all these things come from, just to kind of tie all that in. Now, there's a reason why I went into all this. We are talking about here, okay? We are talking about the purge. Once again, the original people of this land are waking up, and they know this based on algorithms, okay? They know this based on algorithms, okay? So Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, they know there's a plethora of people waking up knowing that we're the original people. So Chicago is one of the main places. Chicago, which is the indigenous name. Chicago, okay, have a deep history, okay, of basic American Indians within especially the United States. Chicago was also part of the original Egypt. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Chicago was also part of the original Egypt because the original Egypt was in the Americas. You know what I'm saying? Irrespective of what anybody else talk about, it's facts, period. Okay? So, with that being said, it's not just about a physical thing. It's also about a spiritual thing. It's dealing with the spirit and the soul of the people. Remember when we had soul, they gave us disco to disconnect us from our soul. And the moment we got disconnected from our soul, meaning that they gave us disco to disconnect, then we had crack, cocaine, AIDS. And from there, it was downhill. You feel me? So when people think words are not important, you are being misguided when you think words are not important. When you think that the power of life and death is not in your tongue, you have no idea what you are or who you are. You feel me? So what they're doing is they're setting up a premise. Okay, it's an experiment in real life. Let us allow these people to commit crimes. You know why? Because it's all about the land grab. Either way, they're going to make money because when you arrive at what you call your birth date, and they create your event and call it and they give it a birth certificate name, all right, that is a money making machine because that certificate is a bond. When you also die, the death certificate becomes a bond because you have to register that as well. So now, not that they're only making money when you're born because your mother and father register the name and they get a certificate as a receipt to show that you sold your baby into slavery. Also, when you die, they create a certificate and it's also sold as a bond. So that's why it's called perpetual slavery. So you are a slave in real life, And then you're also a slave when you die, because they're going to continue capitalizing again, capitalism, okay, the isms again. So now they're able to capitalize even in your death. Okay, so the Indian Removal Act, we might as well call it that of 2023. Okay, but in a more violent sense. You know what I mean? Because trust me, too many of us are woke now to say, oh, well, we're going to do another Trail of Tears. They know we ain't going for that. You see what I'm saying? But one of the main strengths of these colonizers is they know us better than we know ourselves, especially those who are lost. You see what I'm saying? So they know the vices to use. Okay? Boom. They take the media, your rappers, your entertainers, the Steve Harveys, the Roland Martins, the Boris Watkins, all of them that's calling you Black and African American. You see what I'm saying? All the entertainers that's rapping about the N-word and the women is itch is and the women are bees and everything is about killing and blowing a N head and all this stuff. We think that's productive. But what you're not realizing is you are creating your own demise, because you are creating your own reality, not realizing that you are God. So God is speaking death to his or her people. Okay? And y'all take pride in that. You see what I'm saying? So they know that you're already gone. So what they have to do now is just give you the permission. That's all they're doing. Giving you the permission. Giving you the free way. You feel me? Giving it to you. Who do you think is going to win? Do you think you're going to win? No, you're not going to win, because they got bigger guns. They got bigger guns. You don't realize that it's a spiritual thing. It's a mental thing. And you should not fall under the vice or the temptation of Satan, which is the adversary. Once again, let's go back to the allegorical Bible. That's why Jesus came to teach the laws. And when I speak of Jesus, I'm speaking about the allegorical man. He wasn't real. But the teachings is real. He could have been called potato head. It don't matter. The point is, did you get the message? That's why even when he went to the mountain and the serpent or whoever came in the form of the adversary, Satan, right? And he said, listen, if you jump, man, prove to me that you are God. Go ahead and jump. If you jump, you're going to get all this. Jesus fought the temptation. But you have all these artists. They don't know how to fight the temptation, so they took. You see what I'm saying? They took that gift from the adversary. So now their job, the part of the contract, is to what? Profess death over the people, over the children, over mothers, over sons. Teach them to kill themselves. Teach them to destroy themselves. Everywhere you go, every song you hear, it's about bow, bra, ba, ra, ba, bow, in the head, in the throat, in the dome. Nothing uplifting. I go to the park, I work out in the AM, 6 o'clock. Dudes talking about killing the N-word in songs. 6 o'clock in the AM, at sunrise. And they think that's normal. I'm at a basketball game. Children all over the place. And the DJ is playing some 70s music. One or two guys on the sideline. Yo, we want to hear that bang, bang music, man. We want to hear that trap. You see what I'm saying? The mentality of the people is gone. So now the system is saying now, you know what, man? Listen, we don't have to kill. We don't have to go up against them in World War III. Let them destroy themselves. So that's what this is all about. Okay, the basic foundation of the purge is so that you're able to purge yourself out. They're not going to do it, because how is it going to look at the world, where the United States, where supposedly the country that's talking about freedom, justice, equality, and liberty for all, going around killing its citizens? That's not going to look too good. So what they have to do now, they have to give you an act. They have to act it out. Why do you think they give you all these games with all this gruesome killing and all these young men? All they do in front of a TV, all they play in these games, killing people in video games. They are programming you for the real thing. So when the approach come, you already programmed, you already triggered. So it's not going to take much to kill somebody. It's not going to take much to rob somebody because you already programmed. So for those of you who don't, and I told you that 11 years ago, for those of you who don't have a passport and you cannot travel, then you have to be in this jungle to defend yourself. Fortunately, a lot of us that were born in the islands, we have a place to go. You feel me? Because this is real. And people think it's a joke. Anybody who will tell you I spoke about this 11 years ago. And look, here we are. 2022. Boom. In 2023, they're making the act a reality. Because they have to put you on notice. Because why? They want the land. They want the locations. The only way to get away from the land, to get the land, is to do another Indian Removal Act. But they are not going to call it that. They are not going to call it that. Okay? It's happening all over the United States. Okay? Even in the islands, some places. Okay? It's a whole lot of mass shootings. Right in New York right now, the Jews are building on every corner crevice they could find. And they're raising rent. I'm talking about one apartment, $15, $16, $1,700 for a little bedroom. A studio is $16, $1,700. Because why? They want to get rid of the people who look like us in these neighborhoods. It's just another removal. So if y'all don't get this, and you are not vibrating in a high frequency to know, to see the message, to see the handwriting on the wall, you're going to get caught up in this chaos. Because you see, this is not my reality. Because I never claimed it to be my reality. I don't listen to these songs. I mean, if I'm somewhere and they're playing the music and the beat is hot, yes, I'll shake my head, I'll jump, I'll dance to the beat. But I don't internalize these energies. You see, that's when you've learned to master yourself. They have turned you and made you an animal. Okay, how do you do that? You do that by feeding the people the way you feed animals. And the truth of the matter is, animals eat better than people. Why? Because animals eat plants. The majority of them eat plants, which is what you're supposed to be eating. But you're consuming meat. If you eat meat, what are you going to become? Meat is of animals. So if you eat meat, you're going to be an animal. I mean, you don't have to eat it, but they're teaching you how to continuously vibrate in your lower frequency. Just like how I showed it earlier. If you look at every commercial with fast foods, go look at their signs. It is red or orange, which deals with the lower chakra. Okay? Prove me wrong. Over 98% of fast foods that's there to destroy you, the colors is red or orange. Why? Because they are catering to the animal in you. Let me show and prove again. Boom. And I'm about to get out of here in a minute. All right. Let me just pull this up real quick. So no matter how you look at it, the corporation, the United States, is not going to lose. Because trust me, they have insurance on all of their certificates, whether it's your birth certificate, whether it's your death certificate, whether it's your marriage certificate. I don't care what certificate it is. Even your graduation certificate is a bond, but y'all don't get it. All right, then. Think I don't know what I'm talking about, huh? Look, chakras, okay? The colors of the chakras. Your root chakra is red. All right. So you will see a lot of these fast foods, you know, red, the sacral or the sacral chakra, okay, which is the navel chakra, is orange. All right. And then you have the solar plex, which is yellow. You will literally hardly see any commercial, okay, promoting the heart chakra, the throat chakra, indigo or violet. Definitely not indigo or violet because those are higher chakras. Because if they have to promote that, it's gonna what? It's gonna trigger something in you that's gonna open up your mind, and you're gonna start abandoning your lower chakra. But no, they cannot do that. They will not do that because it is not beneficial to their business. It is not. And they will not put it in purple. Why? Because purple, in terms of the energy, the crown chakra, the color purple or indigo, violet or indigo, it is not, it cannot be associated with low vibrational foods. So they will not put it, you will not see McDonald's with a purple sign. You see what I'm saying? They will not do that. So if you think all what these people are doing, it is not done intentionally. It is well strategized. It is well organized. It is not just a physical thing. It's a spiritual thing. And they're killing your spirit. They're killing your soul. So when you start opening up, you start stepping into the greens. What are trees? Plants are green, right? So once you start getting into that greenery, and that's what you put in your system, what are you doing? You start opening up your heart. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these people that's going around here in acting in their low vibrations, their heart chakra is closed. They tell you, oh, I got love for you. No, having love for somebody and loving somebody is two different things. You feel me? Two different things, man. So the business know how to capitalize off of the people because the people just don't get it. And I promise you, it is a challenge, but it is not difficult to start stepping into a realm of a higher frequency. It is not. I don't care what kind of laws they pass. I know that I'm not supposed to go around harming people. You feel me? You don't need laws for that because that's within you. This is something that you should know. The government is not supposed to be passing acts and statutes and codes to tell you don't go around harming people. No, that's something natural in you. But because you have lost yourself, so now all they're doing is because you have lost yourself, they just have to do a little bit of direction to point you in the direction that they want you to go and do exactly what they want you to do. And that's what's happening right now, or going to happen in January in Chicago. And that's just the beginning. I told y'all this in many, many videos years ago. You're going to see some things in real life that you'll only see in movies because they are giving you a public notice. You feel me? Because you cannot see the people that's putting these things in place. You cannot touch them. The only way to touch them is in the spiritual realm. But how are you going to do that if you're vibrating in your lower chakras? And that's why I'm not just saying me, but there are a lot of us that they can't touch. There are a lot of us that's here to do what we are supposed to do. We are serving our purpose. Yes, it may seem like the odds is against us, but we are the ones that's going to be the victors because we were born to win. So this is just the beginning, man. This is just the beginning. All you have to do is to be able to fight the temptation. That's it. And know, regardless of what happens, know that death doesn't exist. It is not real. It is not real. You, the I am, the real you, is immortal. You are the omnipotent, the omnipresent. That's you, the I am in you. That's why once again you go back to the book. It says what? Well, what's your name? I am that I am. What you're called is not you. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing within the government system. They cannot deal with the I am. They could only deal with what you are called and make you think it is the I am. And as long as you know the difference, guess what? And you know how to articulate that in the matrix, which is on paper. You feel me? Guess what? You are Neo. You become the chosen one. You see how simple it is to become the Christ? Very easy. You're anointed. That's all Neo is. The anointed one. Neo, the one. What do you think it means? Anybody could be Christ, family. But no, they teach you to look for Christ coming on some chariots of fire, with nails in his hands. That's what they got you thinking. He's coming back. That's an illusion, man. That was just part of the teaching. That was just part of the message. It wasn't meant to be taken literally. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they cannot get rid of my physical avatar. And when I say they, I'm talking about the system, or I'm talking about, a brother or a sister they may send to get me. I'm not saying that, of course. The flesh is perishable. The flesh is not immortal. The flesh is the mortal. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about that. It's just an avatar. You take the avatar, man, shoot, I'm coming back the next day in something else, if I so choose to. You feel me? So when you know who you truly are, let this plane pass by. When you know who you truly are, you have no fear, man. You have no fear. I'm not afraid of anything. Like I'm telling, like, straight up, like, and this is not no bad man talk, You know what I mean? This is no bad man talk. You know what I mean? That's just facts. There's nothing for me to be afraid of. Why am I afraid of what? I'm not afraid of the government, IRS, my brothers in my hood, sisters in my, no, afraid of what? What are you going to do? Get rid of the avatar? All right, fine. Boom. Thank you. You gave me a ticket to get out of here. I'm in first class too, because I'm a first class kind of guy. So once you know these things, man, you have already won. You have already won. So I'm giving you the secret to your victory, knowing who you truly are. That is the secret to your victory. Do not succumb to the temptations. Don't allow the animal to control the man or the woman. That is the key to your salvation. Not nobody coming on a chariot of fire with horses breathing out fire in its mouth. No, that's an illusion. Your breath is the fire. Your hot breath is the fire. It's already in you. So just know that you are victorious, man. I'm about to get out of here. So I hope this makes sense. If it don't, then I don't know what to tell you. But I'm just giving you the information, letting you know there's an underlying reason for everything. Okay? The corporation just don't do things just because. No. The corporation always have a purpose. My question is, what's your purpose? Okay? And to them, the means will always justify the end, or the end will always justify the means. I mean, whichever way you say it. You see what I'm saying? Because with them, when it's all said and done, it's all about commerce. It's all about commerce. Whether you live or die, they get rich. Ain't that something? Isn't that something? So, and that's why, you know, the PayPal bull, it just clearly states that, the people shall, be under a system of perpetual slavery. And that's what they meant. That's what they meant. We are going to create a document, okay, that's going to enslave people forever. So even in your death, the death certificate is a contract on your body. You feel me? That will make money forever until the system, is either shut down or changed. You know what I mean? So if you don't want that contract, then you don't have to have a death certificate. There's no law. They cannot make that law. You feel me? You don't have to have a birth certificate. But that's what they want you to feel like you have to be a part of their system. But because the people are acquiescing to the system, then it seems like it's mandatory. But it's, again, mandatory. Look at the prefix in that word, man. Created by man, being manipulated by man. Again, manipulate man again. You feel me? But they cannot force you to do those things. However, to operate in commerce, it seems like you have to have certain documents. But at the same time, you could still reserve your rights. Okay? So I want to thank you guys for being a part of this build. Once again, I hope you found some purpose. Well, not purpose, but I hope you found this to be some type of benefit. Okay? And I don't really do videos often because like I said, I'm working on a lot of things right now. But once all these things start getting crazy and out of hand, I'll just take me a little trip to the islands and just chill and fall back until, all these things, just kind of, cease. You feel me? So gotta go to the islands and just once it start heating and it's starting to become national, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna just take a little break and get out of here and go free up myself in the islands. You feel me? So you guys have a great continuation and be good to each other and just keep your eyes open. And remember, once again, all of this is an illusion. Okay? All of this is an illusion. It's not real. It's only real to the five senses. You know what I mean? For real, for real. Oh, it's all good. It's all good, lineage. Y'all absolutely welcome. All right? So give thanks, Zazie. Respect. So we'll talk a little later, all right? Take care.